That's a big buck. 155 to 180 on him. Perfect opportunity. We're laying here prone. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hunter Classic. This is the Hunter D33 and today we're going to be upgrading our trophy lodges. Now we have 5 trophy lodges and some of them have animals that are kind of borderline mounters. Well, if we find anything that's bigger than these mounters, we're going to try and replace them with something bigger. And for this video, we're going to be going out with a 308 Wolfsbane and we're going to be going after some whitetails. Now for this, we're going to start on Loggers Point. We're going to start on the south end, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to work our way along the edge of the coast here, work our way up through the middle and end up somewhere over towards this point. We don't really want to go any more past right here because anything on this side is going to be mule deer. There's a chance there could be 1 or 2 bucks here though, so you never know. Alright, so first up it looks like we have a whitetail doe right here and she's about 50 meters out. We're going to see if we can take a shot. And she is down. Alright, here she is. Let's pick her up. It looks like we hit her right in the spine and neck at 70 meters out. Alright, so it looks like we just got eyes on a whitetail buck here. It looks to be maybe like a 110 score on whitetail. Let's pop up and see if we can take a shot. He's down. I was kind of going for a heart shot, but that didn't work out. So we just went for basically a double lung neck shot, and he's down. Hey, cool looking buck. Very cool. Very similar to a couple of my first bucks. Very nice. Looks like it's actually a 10 point actually. Alright, let's pick it up. Made a shoulder blade liver shot at 26 meters out. He scores 76.7. So not even 50 meters away from where we just got that last buck. We just picked up a pretty heavy whitetail track, 85 to 100 kg. He's fleeing, so obviously he's spooked when we took that shot. But at least we have his tracks, so let's see if we can't find this big buck. Alright, so our buck just called right up here. He's been zigzagging all over the place, so it's been really difficult to figure out what's going on with this buck exactly. But luckily now we know where he's at. So we're going to try and sneak around this point here and see if we can't get a look at this buck. And that's a different buck. Alright, so we have 2 bucks right on top of us. One's behind us and one's in front of us. I don't know. Tell you what, we're going to mark this buck here for the time being. And this buck here is the one that we're tracking. I think this one has a heavier weight, so we're going to see what happens on this buck. Alright guys, so we just got eyes on our buck. He's right there, right behind this tree. I can't quite tell how big he is yet, but he looks pretty decent. I can only see his right side from this point of view. But we're just going to have to wait and see if he steps out. He looks like he could be 150 plus, depending on what his other side looks like here. So we'll just be patient and wait for him to step out. Oh, here he comes, here he comes. That's a big buck. 155 to 180 on him. Awesome whitetail buck. 90 to 100 on the kg for weight estimate on him. That's actually a pretty good shot right there. We could go for it. And I think we might. Perfect opportunity. We're laying here prone. And he's down. Perfect shot. Big buck down. First big whitetail down with the 308 Wolfsbane. Alright, here he is. Let's take a look at him. And let's pick him up. We got a perfect heart and right lung shot. He scores 159.2. So an awesome 160s whitetail buck we just took down with the Wolfsbane. Now this buck was pretty smart because he called and we put out a couple of calls waiting for him to come in. He gave no interest whatsoever in coming into that call, and we waited for about 5 or 10 minutes. Finally, I kind of figured that he wasn't going to come in, so I went over to check his next track, and sure enough, it was trotting. So I knew that this big buck wasn't going to come in just like that. So we had to get back on his track, stalk him down. Luckily, he put out a call right down here by the beach, and we got a nice shot on him. And so this is actually the biggest buck that I've gotten with the 308 Wolfsbane so far. And he's almost a mounter. You know what? We might get him mounted because he's close enough to a 160s buck. Yeah, let's do it. It's kind of like our first buck with the 308 Wolfsbane. Let's do it. I don't know where we're going to put him yet, but I think we'll get him mounted. He definitely deserves to get mounted because he was a very tough buck to be able to figure out where he actually was. And then we were tracking down, so I thought it was this buck, but a little buck jumped up like a 120s. Oh, there's our buck. Looks like a 110 score in whitetail, and it actually jumped up the same direction that this buck was headed. So I thought, oh, it's probably a 120s buck that we were tracking down, and I was about to give up and kind of head to a different track because I thought it was a 120s. But then I thought, wait a minute, that buck would have turned this direction. It wouldn't have been roaming. So then I checked over there and I saw it was trotting on the next track. So obviously if it would have spooked, it would be fleeing, not trotting. And when I saw that trotting track, I knew that that big buck was still out there somewhere. And that reminds me, we do have another buck that called from before right over here. I want to go over there and go check that buck out really quick, and then we'll see what happens. There he is. He's hit. Not the greatest, but he is hit. Hopefully that brings him down. That is body. But it's looking like 89% on the first track. He was pretty close, so I would imagine it should bring him down. 29%. Yeah, he's definitely going to go down. Alright, there he is down there. He's not a bad sized buck. Looks like a 120s. Yeah, nothing wrong with him at all. Let's pick him up. It looks like we got shoulder weight on that, so we're just a little bit too far forward and a touch high. But still, not a bad shot. It took him down, not too bad. About a minute wound time on him. And he scores 120.3. So yeah, definitely a decent buck. Alright, so it looks like we just got eyes on another whitetail buck. This is actually kind of on the smaller side. But this is the one that called from before when we were tracking that big one. And he's out here. It looks like a 52-80 score on him. Let's see if we can't take a shot. He's actually held up there pretty good. So we could probably go for a heart shot on him. Got it. Perfect. Walking heart shot. Maybe we can even get this doe on the run as well. I'm not really too worried if we don't. Didn't miss by much. Anyways, we're going to go over and go check to see if maybe we possibly did hit that doe. You never know. You should always check to make sure that you made a clean miss or you might have actually hit it. Alright, here he is. Another cool looking rack. Very realistic. That's the cool thing about the Hunter Classic. A lot of these bucks are very realistic. Like you would see something like this in real life, and you can relate to a lot of these different bucks. As you can see, this is a decent sized 8-point. You know, not a giant, but still pretty decent sized buck. I mean, in real life, especially if you're going to take out your first or second buck, it's going to be pretty hard to pass this one up. Let's pick him up. We got a heart shot, 88.2 meters out. He scores 67.3. Huh. Well, it's a good thing we checked this track because we have a doe hit with a 308 that we wouldn't have known about from before. So it looks like one of those shots actually made a hit. Well, let's track her down and see if we can't find her. Well, she was hit, but not very good. We couldn't find her, and I don't think she's going to go down, so we're going to leave her. But we just got eyes on a coyote out here. I believe the 308 is ethical on coyotes, so we should be able to use this. All right, here we go. And he's down. Looked like a decent size one, 42 plus on the score. So it might be close to 48 or something like that. Let's go pick it up. First coyote down with the 308 Wolfsbane. And we made a skull shot. So, wow, really good penetration. We hit absolutely nothing, but it still took it down. No problem at all. 18 meters out, it scores 43.5. All right, so it looks like we just got eyes on another whitetail buck. This one looks to be about a 110 score. And we're going to get ready and take a shot on him in a second. Also, we just picked up a pretty much max weight mule deer track not too far away. And I think we might end up tracking that down because you never know just how big he might be. So this buck's actually pretty broadside here at about 75 meters out. We might try for a shot on him. Centered him. Definitely centered him. There he goes. I couldn't see him take off at first, but there he goes. I'm hoping that's going to be a liver shot. All right, so he was standing right here, and it looks like that was a liver shot because the first tracks is 17 to 33% intestine. I would imagine it should be liver, and this buck shouldn't go too far. All right, here's our buck down. He actually ran quite a ways, probably 300-400 meters. It was a long ways. Anyways, we must have gotten straight intestine on that. Let's pick him up. Wow. I don't know if I believe that because I'm pretty sure we're more towards the center. But either way, we got him. He scored 100, and we ended up getting a 75.9 meter intestine shot on him. Alright, so we just caught up to our muley. He's right out here at about 100 meters out. And I'm pretty glad we tracked him down. He's a nice buck, 185 to 215 on him. He looks like he's going to be closer to the 185 mark, but still a pretty nice buck. We'll see what happens once he comes in here in a second. Looks like he weighs 100 to 115 kgs, so not quite as high of a weight estimate as I would imagine. But it looks like he stopped perfect at about 50 meters out. This is our chance. Absolutely drilled him, but I can't believe he took off. And he's down. Yep, lung and heart shot. Pretty awesome shot. And it looks like he ran about 40 meters and tipped over right about here. So let's pick him up and see how we did. Left lung shot, and holy! He scores 203.1. I was thinking he was going to be closer to the 180s mark, but that's definitely a good muley right there. And we might actually get this buck mounted as well, because we have two big bucks, one big whitetail taken down with the 308, and one big muley taken down with the 308. Pretty cool. Alright, so here we have a 202.7 score muley, and the buck that we just got, I believe, scored 203 plus. So, in that case, we're going to switch this one out with that buck. Alright, so there he is. This one scores 203.1, and we just got him with the 308 Wolfsbane, so he's going to be a nice addition to this lodge. This whitetail here is a 170, so he's a little bit too big to replace for that one. And here we have a 170s as well. So we're going to go to another lodge and see if we can't find a replacement spot for our big whitetail. Alright, so we just got to another lodge here, and this one has a 161 blacktail. Now, there's really no reason to keep this blacktail, so I think we're going to upgrade this blacktail to our 159 whitetails for now, because that's our first whitetail that we got with the 308 Wolfsbane. So for now, we're going to switch that out. Alright, there he is. We just put him back up there. He's a 159.2 scoring wide rack whitetail buck. He has a really cool rack on him. Now, if you're comparing him to this 191, obviously he's going to look a little bit smaller. Same next to that 195 up there. But actually, he doesn't look too bad next to that 195. They're both wide racks. This one has a little bit taller tines and way more mass, but all this one needs is some more mass, and he could have been like a 180, 190 wide rack buck. And also, if you guys want to know, we're playing the Hunter Classic, and we're going to be continuing this in the future, so look forward to that. And I think that's going to be a good way to end this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Ah.